Hello there. It's 2 weeks now until my 1-month-long trip to Vietnam, and I thought I'd show you guys some of the things that you need to go through before you take an international trip like this. So we'll start with some of the things I'm going to pack and some of the things you're going to need. The first thing we'll start with right here is the most obvious thing you're going to need before you try an international trip. That's going to be your passport. Now mine is, it's a little bit filled with crap from, traveling. So I am at the point where I'm out of visa pages. So one of the first things I'm going to have to do before I leave is head to Osaka and head to the consulate and get new pages put in. So I made an appointment to do that. Next thing you're going to need, for some places where you're going to need a visa on arrival, are some of these, which are passport photos. So it's good to always keep a few of these in with your passport. The last thing you need, depending on the country you're going to, is one of these beauties, missing all the things you've gotten shots for. So I've got one more shot left in advance, one shot left to get, which is my Japanese encephalitis shot. It comes in 2 shots here. So I got my first one, I get my second one on Monday. And so I've also got yellow fever, I've got typhoid, I've got hepatitis A. You gotta load up on malarial medication when you're going to places that are warm. So you got a few things you gotta get there. This is my normal travel suitcase, and I got this from a friend of mine, Nick, in Chicago. And it is perfect. It's everything you need for a suitcase. I don't like those hard suitcases that aren't flexible, because this you can just kind of cram into an overhead compartment, even if it doesn't really fit all that well. And I also don't like the rolling suitcases, because how freaking lazy can you be? Electronics, you do want to go light, so these are the 3 things we're going to be bringing. Of course, I've got my electronic book. I don't go with the Kindle because, frankly, the Kindle is way too expensive. It doesn't have all the features I want. And this thing is pretty good too. It's an e-ink device. This is called the Boyue T62. And it's got a nice battery life. It's not quite as good as the Kindle, but as long as you're careful with what you're doing with it, you can still get 4 to 5 days with a charge out of it at full usage. It is e-paper, so you get that nice paper look, and you can read it in the sun. I got a load of books on here. I got some flashcards. It's based on Android, so you can just install any Android apps you want into here. I don't know if you're going to want to try and watch a YouTube movie on e-paper, but for things like flashcards, web browsing, and things like that, it's absolutely fantastic. And of course, when you're sitting on a plane, there's absolutely nothing better than having to give a Sudoku. Okay, this is the phone I'm going to be bringing with me. This is not a regular branded Android phone, but this is a knockoff called the Blackview, which is the smartphone for everyone, apparently. It's got dual SIM card slots. It supports up to 64 gig micro SD, so you can throw some videos on there, keep yourself busy. It's nice, and it's cheap. It was under $100, so if anything happens to this on a trip, it's not that big of a deal, really. Lastly, I always like to have a standalone MP3 player. It's better if I decide to go running, that's why I'm not eating the battery on any of the other devices if I'm listening to music. So this is just a $10 cheap piece of crap I picked up in Osaka, but it takes a regular micro SD card, so I can load up 32 gigs of music on there, and it's stuff to listen to. It's lithium-ion battery, it charges off of the USB, all that fun stuff. It also works as a card reader, so it's got dual purpose. It's nice. And the last piece of electronics that'll be going with me is the camera I'm actually using to film this, my Coolpix 340. Nice thing about this camera is it takes video at really good HD resolution. It's also got a separate flash, so the flash is off when I don't want it to be on. We have some gear here. I always have an extra battery for the camera as well as a standalone charger. Now, a lot of cameras will come with like a cable so you can charge it, but that way you can't actually charge things while you're using the camera. which means you're sort of locked into charging every night or whatever the case may be. But with this, I can charge at any time. I always travel with one of these two. Now, not every country is going to support these two prongs, of course, but when they do, you really want to have an adapter like this, because if you're staying in a hostel like we are, if you're staying in a hostel like I am, you do not want to be the douchebag who's eating up power outlets. So with this, you can plug in your charger, and you're still leaving outlets available for other people. If you can get everything you have to be USB powered, that is awesome, because then you can pick up something like this. And this is a Rosewill. They make a lot of electronic devices, but it's a 4-port USB charger. And the nice thing about this is it comes with a set of attachments. So if I happen to not be in a country that uses US style dual plug, I could just pop this off. I can just pop this off. I can connect another attachment for another country. So it's very handy for that. And basically anywhere I go, I'm geared up. So this thing set me back a grand total of like $10. You shouldn't spend too much on these. And then you want to keep your, you don't want to have too many big cables with you, so pick up a couple of these little things. I got these at the $100 shop in Japan here. And you just get a few of those and all your devices are set. You also want to have an extra SD card or two for your camera. And almost forgot one more thing you're going to want to have on a trip like this, and it's one of these. Now this is an external battery. It allows you to plug in devices into USB and charge them. It is 20,000 milliamp hours, so it's enough to charge any of these devices multiple times in one go. You just throw it in a backpack and charge things up while you're walking around. It's also good for when you think you're going to be away from an outlet for a few days. Yeah, this is something you just keep charged with you and keep with you all the time. Okay, and I can't stress enough, don't be the guy who shows up in a foreign country screaming at people in English and expecting them to understand you. They might, but it's just a dick move. Just pick up one of these. These language books are like $8 each. They really don't cost anything, and they're really handy. And it gives you something to do on a plane on the way in. I mean, there's no excuse. So yeah, 2 weeks till the next trip. Getting really excited. I'm gonna try and keep you guys informed as I go through the next one. I'm gonna try and do a daily video if I can, and we'll see what we can do. This is gonna be a new era of traveling, as opposed to the previous videos where I kind of edited a lot of things together at the end. We'll see what happens if we try and do it live. We're gonna do it live!